Hey everybody, welcome back to the Flannel Channel. It's springtime in Minnesota, which means all of our trucks have a lot of nasty winter weather all over them, and it's time to do a thorough spring cleaning and spring polishing on our trucks. So today I'm going to show you how, with a little bit of paint, a little bit of elbow grease, and the right tools, we can take this and turn it into this. I'll show you how. Here we go. Okay, so as you can see over my shoulder, I have two brand new steer tires I'm going to be putting on my truck today. And so because of that, that's going to give me the opportunity to paint my balancers and my hubs, and I'm going to be able to polish right around my lug nuts really well, since the wheels will be off the truck. It's not something that I do all the time. When I do a touch-up polish, like midsummer, in the fall, things like that, I usually do it on the truck and I don't unbolt it. So this will give me a chance to clean the back side of my wheel really well, in my holes, and the balancer, get some paint on my hubs, stuff like that. So not a full detail, because I know some guys that are actual detailers, and I don't want to insult them by saying that I'm detailing my steers today, but you know what I mean. Just giving it some extra attention and trying to make it look good, so we're standing tall all summer long on this here rat rod. So without further ado, let's jump in and get to work. Here we go. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do now that our wheels are off, I'm going to get after the paint. And reason being, I want my paint to have the most amount of time to dry while I do the tire work and then do the polishing over there. That'll allow these things to set up as much as possible, because I actually need to go get a couple loads done this afternoon, and I really don't want red paint flinging all over the place. So I'm gonna wipe this off with some rags and some brake cleaner and just make sure I don't have any grease or oil on there. I used to paint my brake drums, but now that we're starting to use this style of balancer, this is really all you see through the holes in my wheels. So I'm gonna just paint the balancer, paint my hub. I'm not going to paint the mounting surface where the wheel actually goes onto the drum. I'm just not going to mess with that at all. Just want to make sure it's free of corrosion, and then I have a nice flat surface there. I'm not going to put paint on that surface. So anyway, once the paint is starting to dry, then we're going to switch over. I'm going to put those two new tires on. Piece of cake there. Those of you with work trucks, you know all about this stuff inside here. Road grime, brake dust. There's some grease from, the ball joints, tie rods, the kingpins, all that stuff. That all just seems to collect up inside these inside wheels. I do not polish the insides of my wheels, but some guys do, especially show trucks. You're going to see front and rear side are always polished on every single wheel of their rigs. I'm just going to do the standard hot soapy water, get it as clean as I can, degrease it, and then I like to use kind of a matte finish on the insides of my steers. I use a Scotch-Brite pad just because it's fast, it's pretty easy, and I don't mind a machined surface on the inside of my steers. Some guys would get going right away on acid or using really harsh chemicals. Again, that's totally personal preference, to each their own, but I'm just going to stick with hot soapy water, degrease it, Scotch-Brite pad, and then we'll move on and polish our front side. That I will show you, because again, these things get driven all over the upper Midwest in the salt. I am starting to get some pitting between my lug nuts and my aluminum, and so I'm going to probably sand the face out here, and then we'll get started with some polishing and put it all back together. There, that really brightened things up a lot. And I do that about twice a year. I prefer Rust-Oleum Sunrise Red. There we go, gloss Sunrise Red. And just a disposable brush that I can just throw away when I'm all finished. So, to the center there, the outside rings, both sides let it dry. Now it's time to focus on our wheels. This thing clattering all over the place, making all kinds of noise. It's windy outside today, so if you hear any background noise, that's what that's doing. Okay, hot soapy water, Scotch-Brite pad. It's old and kind of worn out, but it's gonna do the trick. Just get all that nasty grime out of there, and then we can move on to switching tires and doing a little sanding and polishing. Yeah. All right, now that my tires are mounted on here, what I'm gonna do is get in there and try and smooth out some of that pitting that's around each one of my lug nuts. This looks pretty good, this area here, so I'm gonna concentrate on there, but I don't wanna hog it out and take too much material away either. I wanna try and keep it as flat a machine surface as I can. Obviously, it's a good chance to inspect for cracks on your backside, wire wheel it, make sure it's nice and clean. What I'm gonna be using for sanding, I say sanding, it's actually like a Scotch-Brite type wheel, available through GoShineOn.com. So that's awesome. That saves a lot of time instead of sandpaper. And then I'll switch over to the high-speed buffer. I'm going to use orange and brown together for my cut stage. Color stage is going to be yellow and the green. Use my rake, and of course, anytime you're using a high-speed grinder, use a safety plate on there because that thing really flies. That's your heavy-duty one. So. Yep, that's what I'm going to do now, and I'll probably just do the face here on the floor, and then when it comes to this part of the wheel, I'll probably do it on the truck so I can actually spin it on the hub with the wheels jacked up on the truck, and that'll speed things up even more. So the reason I'm doing it here on the floor is just to get around my lug nuts. Here we go. Yeah, so there we go. I'm pretty happy with that. Fresh rubber, fresh polish, cut and color, some fresh paint down here, and yeah, I think this is gonna look pretty good through the rest of summer. Obviously, I have to maintain it. That's part of what polish is, but it's gonna ride so nice. It's gonna look way better, and hey, I'm mostly just looking good from the other side of the boulevard going 70 miles an hour. So hey, you know, it's a work truck, and I'm just doing my best with what I have available and the knowledge that I have, and just making videos so maybe you can learn along with me. So anyway, hope you dig it, and thanks for coming along, everybody. If you like some of the products that I'm using, it's Time to Shine products, just like the hat that I'm wearing is available at GoShineOn.com. Evan Steger, Metal Polisher 3826, look him up on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. He's on all the social media platforms. I learned a lot of this stuff from him. I don't do everything exactly the same way he does, but he's a great teacher and a great friend. So GoShineOn.com, get your products there for polishing. This was just Rust-Oleum paint and doing it myself. But I need to pack up and get on the road. I get a load I need to go make. So thanks so much, everybody. I don't see the comments here on YouTube or on Facebook, so if you want to interact with me, you'll find me at Instagram. It's at flannel_Phillip, and we can chit chat there. I'm also on Getter, Minds, and Rumble as well. So peace and grease, everybody. Thanks so much. Man alive. Ugh.